Come on, everybody. Let's do the Joe Biden. Are you crying? There's no crying in basketball. Unless it's the WNBA. Leave Caitlin alone! What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope everyone's been well. Have you missed me? I've been gone for a few weeks. You know something, guys? It's good. It's good sometimes to back away from the keyboard, to back away from the camera and just look around, go outside, touch some grass, as they say. It's very, very important to do that. I can't be one of those creators that just every day has got to go running to the camera and all that stuff. I don't live off this. I got a real job and everything, so I don't have to. But it's very important, guys, because you need that larger perspective. You don't want to be in like some little like echo chamber with everybody else, and you become something of a I don't know, tone deaf after a while, I would imagine. But anyway, it's good to be back, guys. As I said before, I hope everyone is doing well. Now, you know, one of the things also that you gain when you're away for a while is that you kind of take the time to look at what's going on. You know, like the overall atmosphere, the morale of what's going on, the fandom, this whole section of YouTube that we're in, social media. And I've been following a lot of what's been going on out here, guys. And I've been looking at the unfolding story of what's been going on with this new series on Disney Plus, The Acolyte. This is supposed to be Lucasfilm's latest offering of Star Wars. So everyone is talking about this thing, guys. And I heard someone talking about it not too long ago, and they used the term the Blackolite. Yes, the Blackolite. And the reasons why is because you see the Acolyte is claiming to be the most diverse Star Wars Disney Plus show ever. It's also supposed to be the gayest show ever. And those two things I want to address right here, guys, because what I'm seeing, right, and what I'm like taking kind of offense to is how it seems like black people in the presence of black people are becoming synonymous with failure on these shows. The very face of failure. This is nothing new. You guys have heard me say this before. Wherever you see black people, the question of DEI comes up, the question of didn't earn it, the question of not qualified, and inevitably when things go wrong, especially with shows like this, and they fail, all too often, black people, black performers, black writers, black involvement is left holding the bag. Well, this reminds me of something, guys. It reminds me of something that I saw a long time ago, a story that I saw, and it scared me at the time. And this was a long time ago. And I want to read a little bit about this because it actually relates to how I feel about what's going on here today. So bear with me, okay? I'm going to read this off of abcnews.com. I will leave the link to this in the pinned comment below if you want to check it out yourself. This is actually from about 14 years ago. Okay, so check this out, guys. This is something I thought was very interesting at the time. And if I keep looking over here, it's because I am cat sitting, I guess. This is my ex-wife's cat. She's moving, and she needed me to watch the cat. So, you know, this is the kind of guy that I am. You know, we had this cat since she was a kitten. My son named her and stuff, so I'm just keeping an eye on her because she's not above pouncing on me while I do this. Isn't that right, Olivia? Meow. Okay, so anyway, the article, the headline goes, a white man used lifelike black mask to avoid arrest in robberies. Yes, a white man used lifelike black mask to avoid or evade arrest in robberies. The Cincinnati police mistakenly arrested a black man before uncovering the ploy. This was from December 2nd, 2010, like I said, about 14 years ago. After a string of robberies in the Cincinnati, Ohio area earlier this year, police arrested an African-American man who had been picked out of a photo lineup by several of the victims and even identified by his mother, who thought she recognized her son in a bank surveillance photo shown on TV. Okay, this isn't about race, okay? Don't get all in a huff about this. Even his mother picked her son out of a lineup and said, yeah, he did it. He was never any good. I knew one day he'd do something like this. She turned her own son in. But it turns out the man didn't rob any banks at all. The real culprit was a white Polish immigrant with a realistic Hollywood-style mask. Konrad Zierak, 30, pleaded guilty on Monday to one act of aggravated robbery and 5 robberies in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court. He faces up to 35 years in prison and deportation back to Poland. He was arrested in April after a girlfriend encountered the mask in a pile of ink-stained cash and called the police. He would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for that meddling kid. His attorney, Christopher McDowell, told ABC News, I've represented people who robbed banks before. I've represented people who have worn masks before. But I've never represented someone who wore a mask that's this nice, so to speak, McDowell said, explaining how authorities detained the wrong man. There's a guy who looks exactly like the mask, he said. Imagine that. Someone walking around with a devastatingly handsome mask that looks just like me who goes in and robs a bank. Everyone would think that I did it. I would be detained. My own mom would say, Marky, I raised you better than this. By the way, my mom is the only person who can call me Marky. Okay, shout out to Mom. Never watches my videos, but shout out anyway. I love you, Mom. Hamilton County authorities have not revealed the name of the wrongly accused man. Now, authorities say Zierak, I'm just going to say that, stole around $10,000 in robberies at 4 banks, a credit union, and a CVS pharmacy in March and April. Surveillance photos depict the robber as a black man with sunglasses wearing a hooded sweatshirt. Now, some of the store clerks picked the same African-American man out of a police photo lineup, McDowell said, leading authorities to arrest a man that was not Zierak, the Tesseract. McDowell said his client purchased the realistic silicone mask from, and then they tell you where they got it. I'm not going to read that out to you. You can see it for yourself. It's in the article. But I'm not going to give them promotion because somebody else might do the same thing and some other innocent man might be arrested. Now, this doesn't, like I said, this isn't about race. It goes both ways. You see, I've seen stories where black people have worn masks of white people and got caught doing that. You know what I mean? So it just happens. But the point is, guys, how I'm going to relate this to the whole Disney, Star Wars, the Acolyte thing, and a lot of projects lately, is that I kind of feel like this is what's going on. A lot of people are wearing the black mask, and they are leaving black people to be judged by society. Because you see a lot of people talking about this. Like I said before, I heard somebody call this the Blackolite. The Blackolite. You see these thumbnails, you know, you talk about, Assassin's Creed. I've seen thumbnails with freaking Steve Harvey as the assassin, as the samurai and everything. You Suck. I think that's the character's name, Yasuke. I think it's either Yasuck or Yasuki or Yusaki or whatever. Yasuck is how I pronounce it. But anyway, you see this going on, and it's a running joke. And I've been talking about this for the longest. Black people have become the biggest punchline pretty much in the world right now. And it's because people wear the black mask to push through all type of agendas. Oh, he used the A word. Yes, he did. I know this triggers a lot of people when I say agenda. I'm at least going to get like a few comments talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. There is no agenda. You need to grow up. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Don't be afraid. Look it up. That's exactly what it means. It's a plan that's put into effect. All right, to pretty much malign the black image. And right now, the black image is in the toilet. Black people, we have got to talk about this, because when you talk about a show like The Acolyte, right, remember, this is boasting to be the most diverse cast of Star Wars yet, but they're also calling it the gayest. Why am I bringing this up? Because it's about time we realized that a lot of the LGBTQ community and agendas and things that are being pushed through, they're being pushed through wearing the mask of black people. You see where it all comes like together, okay? Black Lives Matter did the same thing. They came forth, right? They introduced themselves as some militant or activist group that was concerned with police brutality against black men and all of this stuff. But as time went on, it became apparent that it was primarily about LGBTQ plus concerns. That's what it was. Okay. So they led with the blackness, but behind it all was pushing that gay, especially trans agenda, because I think there's a lot of homosexuals, a lot of gay people who are even tired of this also. Stop using us, they're saying, for your own gain. And that's what you see going on here. All right. So you see at least the LGBTQ !+ community doing this. Also, I would like to point out too that you see this a lot with biracial people as well. All right. They're trying to push this. Amanda Stenberg, the star of the show, biracial. Charlie Burnett, the guy who said that Anakin blew up the Death Star, biracial. When Amanda was being interviewed by Trevor Noah, biracial. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what happens. It's like they wear the black mask and they piss everybody off. Everybody's pissed off at black people, but we're not the ones that's calling for this. I reject that. I reject people who speak for me. Colin Kaepernick, Barack Obama, Juicy Smollett, Jesse Williams. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of these people acting like they're carrying the torch for black people, speaking up, inflammatory for black people. It's done, man. It's like there's something I have to remind everybody of. When you look at the Acolyte and the way they act like they're just making history, Amanda Stenberg said that she wanted to create a safe space for black people. I did that video something like a year ago. Understand, black people have always been in the science fiction, science fantasy space. We've always been there. We might not have been prominent. We might not have gotten the lead roles and things. But when you talk about hardcore, just representation, just seeing yourself, yes, it's nothing new. The only thing that's new today is that you have LGBTQ trans people, like wanting to get into this space, right? Their struggle is not our struggle as black people, all right? Their struggle is primarily about validation and acceptance. Black people historically have always fought for civil rights. We've always fought for equal opportunity. That's what it's always been. You don't ask people to just accept you. This is the reason why I've said for years, no one has to love you. One of my earliest videos was entitled, "No one has to love you. No one has to like you." All you ask for is an equal opportunity. James Brown once famously said, "I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door, and I'll get it myself." He's talking about an equal opportunity. There is dignity in that. You don't chase people around talking about, "Why don't you love me? Why can't you accept me?" You don't do that. You want the respect that comes from just existing. You know what I mean? Just existing. Don't get in my way, in other words. It's like you're not asking someone as a man to be accepted as a man. Trans people are asking someone as a man to be accepted as a woman, or as a woman to be accepted as a man. Now, I'm not putting my judgment on that in this particular video, although I'm sure a lot of you know where I stand with that. But the point is that we need to understand that these people are wearing the black mask. What I was talking about in that story that I led off with. They wear the black mask to protect themselves or to protect their real identity so that people don't confront them head on. Everyone can agree that Black Lives Matter. Although these days, I don't know, we've taken such a beating, maybe not. But we are in such danger with where we stand as black people, with our image. People are wondering what we even bring into this world because all they see are images of us doing violence, us being unkind to other people, us being loud, us being boisterous. Look at every aspect of our pop culture. I've said this so many times. Our pop culture has been weaponized against us. Look at the music. Look at the music. We don't even talk about love anymore, guys. All we talk about is fucking. All we talk about is material wealth. All we talk about is the most vulgar, profane, disgusting things ever. And we do it in a ignorant way where we can't even have pronounce our words. It's called mumble rap to a lot of people. It's like everything. If you're not Drake singing that sing song and everything, then you're yeah. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Our music is gutter. When you look at our What else do you look at? I mean, just about everywhere you can look. You look at our sports. Right now, they are portraying black sports, especially in the WNBA. Black women against the white girl. You know what I mean? It's like that's what it is. The Caitlin Clark thing. It's like we are so like aggressive in the eyes of the people. Don't get mad at me. I know I'm going to see a lot of comments in here attacking me for what I'm saying. I'm just an observer, man. I'm telling you how we are being seen. All right. In the streets, they're showing our kids running all over the place. Black men, please, you have got to take a role, a more dominant role in raising your children, your sons, your daughters. Every time they show us on the news, every time they show our kids on the news running wild and stuff, it reflects on us. You know, hitting people, doing crazy things. There's a mental health issue in the black community. I don't want to hear, well, there's a mental health issue in the white community too. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. And that shows how messed up you are, where you can't even talk about your own house without pointing to somebody else's house. Stay on subject. Stay on target. We're talking about us right now. At least I am. I love you. You understand? I love everybody. But before I can go outside with my love, I have to take care of what's going on inside my house. I have love for everybody. All right. I've had positive experiences with every other people. I know the good and bad in everybody. All right. I understand that. I've had positive experiences. I've had negative experiences. But right now, what is concerning me is the image problem that's going on because people are wearing this black mask. They are doing all types of inflammatory, provocative things in the name of blackness. And they shouldn't be talking for you and I. All right. We should be taking care of ourselves first. We should be encouraging ourselves to be the best that we can be in conduct, in language, you know, in everything. I know that I cuss and stuff like that, but I do it a lot of times to emphasize where I'm coming from. I'm just not out of control, in other words. There's a time and place for everything, you know? So this is the point that I'm trying to make here, guys. When it comes to things like Ahsoka, when it comes to things like the Acolyte, when it comes to things like Assassin's Creed, when it comes to things like Doctor Who, we can't afford to have these people keep throwing our faces on these things and then they fail. We should be the face of excellence. We shouldn't be the face of failure. But right now, Doctor Who is failing. Right now, the Acolyte is failing. Right now, just about everything that they put a black face on is failing. All right. And they did it just so they can increase their visibility. The LGBTQ community, their visibility. But they use the black face. Biracial, they can easily identify as white too. Why can't you just be proud of your father, your white father? Why can't you be proud of your white mother? Oh, my son just got home. I'll be out in a minute. Anyway, this has gone on long enough anyway, so I might as well wrap this up abruptly. My son just got home. It's his last day from school, so I got to go congratulate this kid. And congratulations to all the kids who have graduated, who have moved on to the next grade. Let's keep it positive, guys. Let's keep it pushing. All right, guys. Anyway, I'll get back to you. Maybe we'll continue this conversation later. Thank you for listening. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on. How's that for keeping it real?